I was headed home to Tennessee after 6 long months overseas. Window seat, row 12, seat 8, just counting miles till yesterday. Then a little girl climbed on the plane, holding a stuffed bear in the rain. She stopped beside the empty chair and asked, "Is somebody sitting there?" Her mama smiled and shook her head. "Honey, not anymore," she said. She buckled in and held her close while silence filled that narrow road. A flight attendant leaned my way, whispered words I'll never shake. Her daddy was supposed to fly today. He never made it home. That empty seat on flight 417 said more than words have ever been. No suitcase there, no cowboy hat, just everything she wished she had. Some heroes miss their flights to heaven before they make it home again. And sometimes love is measured most by the empty seats we leave behind. Halfway through the flight she looked at me, asked if I'd color with her please. She drew a house beneath blue skies with one man standing way up high. She pointed at the clouds outside, said, "Daddy says that's where he'll hide. Whenever I get scared at night, he'll turn the porch light on." I had to turn and face the window so she wouldn't see me cry. That empty seat on flight 417 carried more than memory. It carried dreams that never landed, promises still floating free. Every mile across those clouds felt heavier somehow, because love doesn't disappear, it just changes where it's found. When we landed in Nashville, she reached up and hugged my neck, then tucked that little drawing inside my jacket vest. She whispered, "If you see my daddy, tell him I was brave. There wasn't a dry eye in Terminal C." Now every time I board a plane, I always notice one empty place. Not every chair is truly vacant. Some are filled with grace. And somewhere above these endless clouds, where the morning meets the blue, I believe the Father smiled that day, watching his little girl come through. Yeah, I'll never forget the empty seat on flight 417. There's a faded blue suit on the clothesline today, dancing in the Carolina breeze. Mama pinned it up at sunrise, right beside the bed sheets and the leaves. Most folks drive right past our farmhouse, never think twice what they see. But that old suit's got 40 years of family history. Daddy wore it when he married Mama in a church out by Miller Creek. Wore it when he held my sister, just a baby, 3 weeks old and asleep. He wore it every Easter Sunday and every funeral in town. If somebody needed help or prayer, that blue suit showed up around. That Sunday suit on the clothesline ain't just cotton thread and seams. It's every promise that he kept and every sacrifice unseen. Yeah, time may fade the color and life may wear us thin, but the things that really matter are stitched beneath the skin. Last winter we laid Daddy to rest. The church bell echoed through the pines. The pews were full of neighbors. Some drove for hours just to arrive. Afterward, Mama couldn't bear to lock that suit away. So every spring she hangs it out and lets the sunlight touch those days. That Sunday suit on the clothesline ain't just cotton thread and seams. It's every promise that he kept and every sacrifice unseen. Yeah, time may fade the color and life may wear us thin, but the things that really matter are stitched beneath the skin. Now my little boy asks questions. Why's that jacket hanging there? And I tell him, son, that's what love looks like when a good man spins it everywhere. That Sunday suit on the clothesline still sways beneath the southern sky, like a quiet kind of legacy that never really says goodbye. And every time the wind catches it, itch beneath our skin. Yeah, that old blue suit keeps teaching us, even now after he's been gone.
There's a pair of work boots hanging from the old water tower just outside a town called Red Oak, Oklahoma. Faded leather, cracked and worn, swinging in the prairie wind since before I was born. As a kid I'd ask my daddy every time we drive by, why's nobody taking those boots down from the sky? He'd just grin and say, one day you'll understand. Then he'd shift that old truck into gear and head across the land. Years later at 17, I learned the story true about a man named Caleb Ross that only old-timers knew. He worked every ranch for 50 miles around, fixing fences after storms when they came crashing down. One summer brought a wildfire racing through the plains, the kind that turns the daylight orange and makes grown men pray. When the flames jumped Miller Creek and headed straight for town, Caleb stayed behind to help while everybody else got out. And those shoes by the water tower still dance with the Oklahoma wind, like a reminder of a man who gave more than he had to give. Some folks leave behind a fortune, some leave a famous name, but some leave a town still standing, and that ain't a small thing. For 20 hours straight he worked with volunteers, digging lines and moving cattle through smoke and fear. The fire finally turned away just north of County Road 9, and every family made it out with a little luck and time. The next morning when the danger passed and the sky turned blue, the town gathered at the diner trying to figure out what to do. The mayor climbed a ladder with Caleb standing near and tied those old work boots high above the water tower sphere. Now those shoes by the water tower still dance with the Oklahoma wind, like a reminder of a man who gave more than he had to give. Some folks leave behind a fortune, some leave a famous name, but some leave a town still standing, and that ain't a small thing. Caleb never liked attention, never made a speech or boast, said I only did what anybody would have done. But everyone knew better, 'cause when fear was running wild, he chose to stay and fight while others ran for miles. So the shoes by the water tower still catch the evening sun, watching over fields of wheat
grandchildren out having fun. And every new generation asks why they're hanging there. Then somebody tells the story, and Caleb's still with us somewhere. Yeah, those shoes by the water tower still dance in the prairie air.
Pulled off Highway 287 just after dark, dust still hanging in the Texas air. 2 weeks early from a drilling job, thinking I'd surprise her there. Had roses on the passenger seat, diamond necklace wrapped in blue. Spent 14 days counting down the hours, dreaming of getting back to you. And I saw her Silverado parked beside a truck I didn't know. Underneath the porch light glowing like a warning I should have seen before. The screen door slammed, I heard her laugh, the same one that used to stop my heart. But that night it sounded different, like somebody tearing me apart. Her Silverado in his driveway, that picture's burned into my mind. One look was all it took to know she left our forever behind. Holding tight, now all that's left are tail lights fading into the middle of the night. She tried to talk when she saw me standing there, tears already in her eyes. Said it wasn't supposed to happen, like that could make it right. I dropped the roses in the gravel, set that little blue box down, then climbed back in my old F-150 and drove without a sound. Her Silverado in his driveway, that picture's burned into my mind. One look was all it took to know she left our forever behind. I gave her my trust, my name, my plans, every dream I was holding tight. Now all that's left are tail lights fading into the middle of the night. 3 months later I sold the house, moved west toward New Mexico. Some scars don't heal all at once, some wounds lessons in your soul. I learned that love ain't measured by the promises people make. It's what they're still protecting when nobody's awake. Yeah, her Silverado in his driveway still crosses my mind sometimes, but it don't break me like it used to. It just reminds me of that night, 'cause losing her taught me something about the man I wanna be. You can't build a future with someone who's already halfway gone to leave. So I let the memory roll away like dust across the Texas sky, and left her Silverado in his driveway, back where it belongs tonight. Mama always kept an old brown Bible on the table by the rocking chair. Its pages smell like cedar wood and 30 years of whispered prayers. Every Sunday she took a 20 between the Psalms and John. I'd ask her why she never spent it. She'd just smile and carry on. She'd say, "Son, this ain't emergency money. It's for someone hurting more than me. You'll know the day it's meant to leave when the Lord lets your heart see." Back then I thought she was just talking, like parents sometimes do. I never guessed those simple words would one day pull me through. That $20 bill in my Bible was never really about the cash. It was faith folded between the pages, waiting for the right path. You don't measure wealth by what you're holding or the numbers in your hand. Sometimes the richest thing you'll ever own is the chance to help someone else stand. Mama passed one cold November. Leaves were falling through the yard while packing up her little farmhouse. I found that Bible where it was.
20 was still tucked inside it, soft from years of patient grace, just waiting on the next chapter in somebody else's day. Driving home through pouring rain, I saw a young man on the shoulder holding a cardboard sign that read, "Need gas to get my daughter home." I reached into that old Bible and finally understood that $20 bill in my Bible bought more than gasoline. It bought a little girl one safe ride home and tears nobody'd seen. Now every Sunday there's another one tucked between those worn out pages, 'cause some inherit land or money. I inherited Amazing Grace. Yeah, Mama never spent that 20. She spent a lifetime teaching me when to.
I was 23 and reckless, working shrimp boats off the coast. Thought I had forever waiting, thought a young man couldn't lose much. She ran the bait shop by the harbor, with salt wind tangled in her hair. Every morning she'd wave me out, standing on that weathered pier. Came September's angry waters, black clouds rolling from the sea. The radio warned all vessels, turn around immediately. But pride can be a dangerous compass when you're trying to prove you're strong. I pushed farther into open water, and before long, everything went wrong. And the lighthouse at Cape Fear cut through the storm and all my fear, like a promise shining through the rain, calling me back home again. When the waves were high as mountains and hope was hanging by a thread, the light kept reaching through the darkness till it led me back instead. The engine died around midnight and the sea threw me around. I thought about her waiting on the shoreline, praying I'd be found. Then through the sheets of rain and thunder, a single beam broke through the black. I pointed my bow toward that light and somehow found my way back. And the lighthouse at Cape Fear cut through the storm and all my fear, like a promise shining through the rain, calling me back till it led me back instead. That was 20 years ago this autumn. Now my hair's turning gray, and every time I pass that shoreline I still bow my head and pray. Some lights are built from stone and steel, some shine inside a faithful heart, and both can save a drifting soul. When the world falls apart, yeah, the lighthouse at Cape Fear still stands against the passing years, and every time its beam sweeps by, it reminds me how close I came that night. I got the girl, we raised a family, and built a life beside the sea. It all began with a light in the storm that refused to give up on me. Yeah, some miracles don't make the news, they just got a man back home. There's a handmade quilt on Grandma's porch, folded on that old porch swing, stitched together from scraps of denim, Sunday dresses and wedding rings. Every patch has got a story, every thread's been pulled with care, and if you sit there long enough, you can almost hear them in the air. That faded red piece came from Grandpa's shirt, the one he wore out in the hay. The little blue square was Mama's dress on her graduation day. There's a bit of lace from Aunt Louise, and army green from Uncle Ray, all sewn together through the years, so nobody fades away. Like that quilt on Grandma's porch, we're all pieces of something more, woven through the laughter and the hurt, through every blessing and every storm. Time may pull us different ways, and miles may spread us far apart, but love keeps stitching us together like a quilt across the heart. Last Thanksgiving, the whole family came. from Dallas, Tulsa, and Tennessee. Kids ran circles through the yard, just like we did back in '93. Grandma sat there on that swing with silver hair and gentle eyes, smiling at 4 generations beneath that golden autumn sky. Like that quilt on Grandma's porch, we're all pieces of something more, woven through the laughter and the hurt, through every blessing and every storm. Time may pull us different ways, and miles may spread us far apart, but love keeps stitching us together like a quilt across the heart. Now the porch sits quiet these days, since we laid Grandma down to rest, but that old quilt still catches sunsets, like she's holding all of us close. Yeah, that quilt on Grandma's porch still tells stories without a word, of farmers, soldiers, mothers, dreamers, and every lesson that we learned. And when the evening shadows fall and the whippoorwill starts to sing, I wrap it around my shoulders sometimes and feel the love she left in everything. Yeah, some people leave this world behind, but their hands stay in the seams. There's a wooden bench at mile 42 along an old Wyoming trail with a mountain view. It ain't on any map you'll find in a tourist stand, just a place beside the pines where the wildflowers still dance. I first saw it one September after 14 hours on the road, hauling cattle through the bighorns with a heavy load. The sun was dropping low, painting gold across the sky, and carved into the back were words that caught my eye. If you're tired, sit a while. A year went by before I passed that way again, this time after losing my brother, my closest friend. The world felt colder than the snow building on the peaks, and grief had stolen every answer I was trying to seek. So I pulled over by that tucked underneath it then, filled with notes from strangers passing through the years, written in faded ink, stained by rain and tears. At the bench at mile 42, people leave pieces of the truth, a prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up somehow at the bench at mile 42. One note came from a trucker who beat cancer in the spring. Another from a young girl learning what forgiveness means. A widow wrote about her husband and the stars he loved to see, and every page somehow felt like it was speaking straight to me. I sat there till the moon rose high above the mountain line, reading stories from strangers who had survived their hardest times. Then I took my pen and wrote my brother's name inside. For the first time since he left, I didn't feel alone that night. At the bench at mile 42, people leave pieces of the truth, a prayer, a memory, a goodbye, a reason to keep moving through the night. Some roads are lonely, that's for sure. Some wounds take longer to endure, but hope keeps showing up somehow at the bench at mile 42. Nobody knows who built it there or who first placed that notebook down, but sometimes the best things in this world appear without a sound. Not every hero wears a badge, not every gift has a name. Sometimes healing starts with strangers who walk through the same pain. Now every fall I stop again and add another page with a pen, watching the sunset fade beyond the blue. And when life gets heavy, when the answers disappear, I remember all those voices that I found out there, and how a simple wooden bench helped carry people through. Yeah, hope still waits beside the pines at the bench at mile 42.
On Cedar Street in Arkansas stood a little yellow house where Miss Ruth sat every evening when the sun was going down.
stitched beside the front porch swing with a basket at her feet, adding patches to a quilt nobody had ever seen complete. Some came from a soldier's jacket, some from a baby dress, some from church choir robes worn on Sundays at their best. Every scrap had someone's story sewn between the seams, like a map of all the lives that built that little community. For 30 years folks dropped off pieces of their past, a work shirt from the sawmill, a ribbon from a graduation cap. Nobody really knew what Ruth intended it to be, but she'd smile and say, "You'll understand eventually." Then one April night, a fire swept through downtown fast. The feed store, bank, and barber shop disappeared in ash. The town hall burned to the foundation, records lost in smoke, and with them went a century of stories people hoped they'd always hold. That's when she brought out the quilt on Cedar Street, spread it wide for everyone to see. Every patch a name, every thread a memory, every color telling where we'd been. When the photographs were gone, the old records disappeared, that quilt became the history we thought we'd lost that year. The mayor stood there speechless as she laid it on the floor. More than 2,000 pieces stitched from door to door. Children found their grandparents, old friends found younger days, entire generations hidden in the fabric she'd saved. There was a square from the first schoolhouse built in 1932, a piece from a wedding tablecloth everybody knew. And when folks saw their stories there, something changed inside. They realized a town ain't buildings, it's the people tied together through time. That's what lived inside the quilt on Cedar Street. Every laugh and every defeat, every harvest, every storm, every dream, woven into something bigger than a single memory. When the photographs were gone, the old records disappeared, that quilt became the history we thought we'd lost that year. Miss Ruth passed away that winter at 94 years old, but before she left she wrote a note, folded careful in the quilt's old folds. It said, "The strongest threads are people, the cloth is only cloth. Take care of one another, and you'll never truly be lost." Now the quilt hangs in a museum built where the old town hall once stood, and school kids stop and stare a while, like every generation should. They see more than scraps of fabric, more than colors stitched with care. They see the heart of a small town story still hanging there. Yeah, the quilt on Cedar Street still holds us all together. a forgotten mining town tucked deep in Colorado hills, where the railway quit running and the clocks all learned to stand still. Most folks packed their lives in boxes when the silver dried away, but old Walter Green stayed behind and watched the years decay. Every evening at sundown he'd walk the empty street, past the boarded up hotel and the church without a priest. Then he'd climb the ridge above town where the cold winds always blew, and light a lantern by the tracks like he'd done his whole life through. The story went that 40 years ago his young son disappeared on a snowstorm night in January, the worst they'd seen in years. The boy had left to catch a train and never made it there. Nobody found no final words, just questions in the mountain air. People call it foolish hope, a wound that wouldn't heal, but Walter never missed a night, no matter how he'd feel. Through blizzards, floods, and summer heat, through every passing year, the lantern kept on burning bright for someone who might appear. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shines where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope. So the last lantern in Black Creek burns for the one who never came home. Then one October evening, when the aspens turned to gold, a stranger stepped off a freight train looking tired, gray and old. He stood beneath that lantern light with tears upon his face and stared toward the silent town like he recognized the place. Walter heard the footsteps coming down the gravel road. At first he thought the mountain wind was playing tricks again, but when the stranger softly said, "Dad, it's finally me," 40 years of sorrow broke like rain into the sea. And the last lantern in Black Creek still shine where the old rails meet, like a promise made that never broke, like a prayer rising through the smoke. When the whole world says let go, some hearts refuse to lose their hope. And the last lantern in Black Creek burned long enough to bring him home. No one ever learned the whole story, where the years had taken him away. Some mysteries belong to heaven, and some are better left that way. But every soul in that old town still talks about that autumn night, when hope outlived the hands of time and faith outshined the dark. Now the lantern's gone from Black Creek, the tracks lie quiet in their sleep.
But the legend travels mountain winds through every valley, ridge and stream, that sometimes love keeps waiting long after reason says it's done. And sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home. Yes, sometimes one small light can guide a lost heart safely home.
Main Street, Tennessee, late July heat. I was fixing up a Chevy across from Maple Street when I looked up from the engine and caught a glimpse inside a little bridal shop with lace hanging in the light. There she stood by the window with a tape measure in hand, pinning up a wedding gown, humming with the radio band. A strand of hair kept falling, she kept brushing it away, and somehow that simple moment stole my breath that day. For weeks I'd find excuses just to walk that side of town. Need a coffee, need some nails, anything to come around. She'd wave through the glass and smile every time we met, the kind that makes a man believe in things he ain't believed in yet. And then one Friday after closing, as the sun was sinking low, I finally crossed the street instead of letting another chance go. We talked until the courthouse clock struck 10:30, and before I drove away, I knew I'd see her again. She was the dress in the window, the answer I never knew I needed, like a light shining soft through the evening glow. When my heart had nearly quit believing, she didn't crash into my life like a storm rolling through. She came slow like a summer sunset, painting everything new. And every road I traveled led me somehow to the dress in the window and the girl I fell into. 3 years later on a Sunday, church bells filled the air. The whole town gathered smiling as she walked down the aisle there. And hanging in the front display, where I first saw her stand, was the very dress she'd stitched herself with her own two hands. I watched her coming toward me through the tears in her eyes, and every prayer I'd whispered finally felt alive. Funny how forever started with a glance across the street and a man too shy to walk over and speak. She was the dress in the window, the answer I never knew I needed, like a light shining soft through the evening glow. When my heart had nearly quit believing, she didn't crash into my life like a storm rolling through. She came slow like a summer sunset, painting everything new. And every road I traveled led me somehow to the dress in the window and the girl
still look across Main Street and thank God where it all started. Yeah, she was the dress in the window, a simple moment nobody else would have seen. But some of the greatest love stories begin in places ordinary as can be. Now that old shop still glows every evening downtown, and every time her laughter drifts around, I'm reminded that forever sometimes starts with a view of a dress in the window and a dream coming true.
Windmill on Miller Road still turns above the field, just like it did back in '98 when life felt strong and real. Dad would wake before the sunrise, coffee in his hand, and I'd ride shotgun in that tractor across the Kansas land. We talked about the weather and the price of grain that year. He never spoke in big words, but somehow everything was clear. Said, son, a man ain't measured by the money that he makes. It's the promises he keeps and the burdens that he takes. I was 19 when I left that town, chasing city lights. Thought the Great Plains were too small for the dreams inside my mind. Built a business in Missouri, bought a house in wartime. But success can feel like failure when your roots are running dry. Then one cold November morning, my sister called in tears, said, you better come on home now, Dad's been fighting hard for years. I stared out at that office glass and watched the traffic flow, and for the first time in forever, I knew exactly where to go. So I drove through the midnight rain, past every mile of pride and pain, back to the fields where I learned my name, where the wind still sings across the plains. That old windmill keeps turning slow, like the hands of time I used to know. And every lesson that my father gave still stands like steel above the waves. The hospital room was quiet when I walked through the door. He looked smaller than I'd ever seen, but his eyes were strong once more. He smiled and said, you made it, son, then pointed through the glass toward the winter fields outside, where the snow was falling fast. We didn't talk about regrets or all the years gone by, just watched the clouds move over Kansas beneath the fading sky. He squeezed my hand and whispered low, the farm will need your care. And in that simple moment, I knew my future waited there. So I drove through the midnight rain, past every mile of pride and pain, back to the fields where I learned my name, where the wind still sings across the plains. That old windmill keeps turning slow, like the hands of time I used to know. And hands like steel above the waves. Spring came early that next year. The wheat rose tall and green. Sometimes I still hear his voice carried on the prairie breeze. And when the sunset paints the sky in shades of gold and red, I tip my hat toward Miller Road and thank the man who led. Now I walk those fields at dawn, though the years keep moving on. The windmill turns above the land like my father's weathered hands. Every season comes and goes, every child eventually knows the richest things we'll ever own are the people who call us home. That old windmill keeps turning slow, and every time I see it blow, I know the roots I almost lost were worth far more than what they cost. Murphy's Cafe off Route 66. There's a chair by the window, table 6. Every morning at 7, the coffee gets poured, even though nobody walks through that door. Old Joe runs the place like he always has. Wipes down the counter, checks the gas, and right beside the jukebox glowing blue sits a plate nobody ever moves. Back in 2005, a young Marine named Ben, he used to stop by every Friday with his friends. He'd order chicken, fried steak, and peach pie too. Leave $1 in the jar before he flew. Then one spring he shipped overseas, promised his mama he'd be home by Christmas Eve. But fate had different plans that year, and the whole town learned the meaning of fear. So the empty chair at table 6 still waits where he used to sit, beside the window facing west, toward the sunset he loved best. And every soul who walks inside knows the reason why some heroes leave this world too soon, but they never really say goodbye. Years rolled by like freight trains in the night. Kids grew up and the town changed with time. The old gas station closed, the hardware store moved on, but that chair stayed right where it belonged. Then one July afternoon, a little boy asked why his grandpa always tipped his hat when he walked by. The old man smiled and pulled up a seat and told
told a story every child should keep, about the empty chair at table 6, still waiting where he used to sit, beside the window facing west, toward the sunset he loved best. And every soul who walks inside knows the reason why some heroes leave this world too soon, but they never really say goodbye. No statue stands in that small town square, no headlines carry his name anymore, but sometimes the strongest monuments are the ones behind ordinary doors. A cup of coffee, a faded photo, a place nobody dares replace, because memory lives a little longer when love is given space. And the empty chair at table 6 still waits where he used to sit, while the morning sun spills through the glass, and another year quietly passes. New faces come, old faces go, that's how life unfolds. But every heart that learns his story carries a piece of him forward. Yeah, the empty chair at table 6 ain't empty after all.
Radio crackled just past midnight on Route 84 through New Mexico. My headlights painted silver lines across a desert no one seemed to know. I'd spent 10 years hauling freight trailers, sleeping more in truck stops than at home, watching birthdays through a phone screen, always somewhere down the road. That night a song came through the static, one my little daughter used to sing, back when she was 5 years old. Thought I could do anything. I pulled over by an old gas station, under a buzzing neon light, and for the first time in forever, I sat alone and cried. That radio on Route 84 hit me harder than ever before, made me realize what all these miles had really cost me over time. You can chase a paycheck coast to coast, cross every state from south to north, but some things get left behind when your heart ain't where you are. By sunrise I was heading east toward Oklahoma and home again, past windmills turning in the distance, past towns I'd only passed through then. When I pulled into our gravel driveway, my daughter ran out through the yard. She was nearly 16 by that summer, and suddenly I saw how much I'd missed. That radio on Route 84 hit me harder than ever before. Made me realize what all these miles had really cost me over time. You can chase a paycheck coast to coast, cross every state from south to north, but some things get left behind when your heart ain't where you are. Now I still drive, but not for weeks on end. Got a local route close to town. Sometimes success looks a whole lot different than the dreams you started out with. Yeah, that radio on Route 84 changed what I was living for. Turned a lonely highway into a sign, pointing me back to my life. Now every night when I pull in the drive and see that porch light shining warm, I thank God for one old country song and a radio on Route 84. If some roads take you far away, just to show you where you belong. Grandpa's toolbox sat untouched for nearly 5 long years in the corner of the garage, collecting dust and memories. Rusty wrenches, bent up nails, receipts from 72, and 100 little pieces of a life nobody knew. One Saturday in early spring, I finally opened it, just looking for a socket set to fix a fence a bit. But underneath the bottom tray, folded tight and warm, was a hand-drawn map on yellow paper, weathered, stained, and torn. Across the top it simply said, for whoever finds this first, enlisted roads through Missouri and a dozen little towns, with circles drawn around old places I had never heard him name, and one short note beside the edge that only said, take the trip someday. So I loaded up my pickup and headed down the line, following that faded map, one county road at a time. The first stop was an old diner where a waitress smiled and said, your granddad used to stop right here every Thursday before dawn. And that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through stories that had never been told. Every turn revealed a chapter, every mile revealed a man, and I realized how little we know about the lives behind our family names. One pin led to a schoolhouse where he fixed the furnace free, another to a farmhouse where he'd helped a widow keep her wheat. There was a church in Kansas where he built a handicap ramp, and a riverbank in Iowa where he rescued a boy from the current's grasp. No newspaper had ever written a single word about those days. No medals hung upon his wall, no headlines praised his name. But town after town I met folks whose lives he'd quietly changed, and each story painted someone bigger than I'd ever known. Yeah, that map in Grandpa's toolbox wasn't leading me to gold, it was leading me through kindness he never stopped to show. Every stop revealed a lesson, every road revealed the truth. The strongest people often leave their greatest work unseen. The final mark was on a hillside overlooking fields of corn, where Grandpa used to watch the sunset when he felt tired and warm. There I found a small tin box buried underneath the stone. Inside was one last letter, written in his careful hand. It said, if you're reading this, remember, life ain't measured by what you own, it's measured by the people smiling because you helped them carry on. And if you ever feel forgotten or wonder what your life is worth, leave this world a little better than the day you found it first. And now that map hangs in my hallway where I see it every day, and whenever I get lost, it still shows me the way. First snow hit the fence lines yesterday, dusting all the cattle trails in white. I was patching up a gate on the north side ranch when I saw her truck roll in at twilight. The 3 years gone since she drove away, leaving nothing but a note and a ring. Now she's standing by the old windmill like she never missed a thing. She said, I heard your mama wasn't doing well. And she looked down at her hands, the same hands that used to hold mine tight back when we made all our plans. The mountains stood silent in the distance, like they knew we had words left unsaid. And every mile she traveled since then was written in her eyes instead. Under this Montana sky tonight, the stars are burning clear and bright, like they never stopped believing we'd find our way through
Montana sky tonight. Mama smiled when she walked through the door, like a prayer had finally come true. Coffee steamed on the kitchen table, and the whole room felt brand new. We talked until the moon climbed high, about the years we can't get back. Then she reached across and touched my hand, and somehow closed every crack. Under this Montana sky tonight, the stars are burning clear and bright, like they never stop believing we'd find our way to every lonely mile and every hard goodbye. If love's a fire, ours never died. It just waited through the cold and time, and here we are beneath that endless light, under this Montana sky tonight. The wind still sings across the prairie grass, and tomorrow ain't promised to anyone. So I pulled her close and whispered low, I'm done running from what we've become. Under this Montana sky tonight, I can finally see my life, not in the dreams I chased too far away, but in the arms that held on through the fight. The mountains watch, the stars still shine, and for the first time the future feels right. Yeah, forever starts right here tonight, under this Montana sky tonight. Under this Montana sky tonight.
There was a foreclosure sign nailed to the gate, 5 rocky acres just outside Cheyenne. The barn leaned hard to the west wind, and the fences barely stood again. Everybody said, boy, don't buy that place, you'll spend your whole life chasing repairs. But I saw a porch where kids could laugh, and a future hanging in the air. I worked double shifts through the winter months, loaded feed and fixed old rigs. Every paycheck stretched like barbed wire, trying to make enough for little things. My wife planted flowers by the mailbox, though the ground was stubborn clay. She'd smile and say, give it some time, good things grow that way. All we had was 5 acres and a dream, a little faith and a lot of gasoline. More hope than money, that wouldn't quit. Yeah, life wasn't easy, but it felt right, building something under those Wyoming skies. Sometimes a man gets richer than he seems, with 5 acres and a dream. By year 5, the barn stood straight again. The pasture turned a healthy green. There were bicycles by the front porch steps, and little muddy boots by the screen. One evening I watched the sunset fall, with my daughter sleeping on my knee. And I realized every sacrifice had become exactly what I needed. All we had was 5 acres and a dream, a little faith and a lot of gasoline. More hope than money, more grit than luck, and an old red tractor that wouldn't quit. Yeah, life wasn't easy, but it felt right, building something under those Wyoming skies. Sometimes a man gets richer than he seems, with 5 acres and a dream. The world keeps telling you bigger is better, more land, more money, more things to own. But peace don't care about square footage. Sometimes it lives where love has grown. Yeah, we started with 5 acres and a dream. Now every board and field means something to me. Every scar on my hands, every long hard day helped build this life brick by brick. And when the stars come out above the plains and the porch light glows soft and clean, I thank the Lord for everything He gave me through 5 acres and a dream. Yeah, the best things I ever held in my hands were never things at all. I saw her standing by the gas station out on Highway 84. The summer storm was rolling in, thunder shaking the store. She held a cardboard coffee cup, hair dancing in the wind. And something in that moment made the whole world slow again. I offered her a ride to town before the clouds broke loose. She laughed and said, only if you're playing something good with roots. An old country song came through the speakers, crackling low. And somewhere between 2 verses, I forgot where I was going. We spent that Friday driving roads that barely had a name, crossing little county bridges while the sky poured down like rain. She told me about Georgia and the dreams she'd left behind. I told her how I'd built these walls one heartbreak at a time. The windshield wipers kept the beat as evening settled in, and every mile beside her felt like a place I'd never been. Not because the road was new, but because she made it shine like sunlight breaking through a storm I'd carried for a long time. Now every time
melody drifting from an old FM. And I fall in love all over again. She turned gray skies into gold somehow, made forever feel like right now. Every drop that hits this roof tonight still whispers her name in the rain outside. Later by the river, where the willow shadows sway, I got down on one knee at sunset as the daylight slipped away. She cried before I asked the question, said yes before I spoke, and the river carried echoes through the Tennessee smoke. Now there's a photograph beside our bed from that summer stormy day. Two young hearts beneath the station sign while the clouds rolled away. Sometimes life arrives so quietly you almost miss the sign. Then one unexpected moment changes everything inside. Now every time the rain comes down, I hear her laughing through this town, like a melody drifting from an old FM. And I fall in love all over again. She turned gray skies into gold somehow, made forever feel like right now. Every drop that hits this roof tonight still whispers her name in the rain outside. People spend their whole life searching for a feeling they can't explain. I found mine on a roadside shoulder in the middle of a summer rain. And when we're old and the years move on, when silver finds her hair, I'll still thank those storm clouds rolling in for leading me right there. So let the rain keep falling down across these fields outside our town. Every drop's a memory I can't replace of the day heaven put her in my way. She turned a passing storm into a lifetime, turned a lonely road into a finish line. And every night when the thunder rolls again, I still hear her name in the rain. Yes, every night when the thunder rolls again, I still hear her name in the rain.
On a gravel road in northern Montana where the winters cut like glass, there stood a one-room general store that somehow still managed to last. The sign was faded, the floorboards grown, the coffee pot stayed warm, and folks stopped in for more than feed whenever there was a storm. Old Miss Evelyn ran the place since 1979. She knew every kid, every ranch, every hard and troubled time. But what folks talked about the most was a rusty iron key hanging from a nail above the door for everybody to see. Nobody locked their houses much back when the town was young, but times changed like the weather and trust grew harder to come by. Still that key stayed hanging there through every passing year. And if you asked Miss Evelyn why, she'd smile and say it's here. For the day somebody needs it more let them say. For the day a soul gets stranded and can't find another way, then she'd pour another coffee and go back to her routine, leaving folks to wonder what she really meant. That's the key above the door, for the lost and the worn, for the hearts carrying burdens they weren't meant to carry alone. When the road gets dark and lonely, when hope gets hard to find, there's still a place in this world where somebody leaves a light behind. Then came the blizzard of '08, the worst anybody knew. Wide walls of snow swallowed fences, trucks, and every familiar view. A ranch hand named Miguel got caught 30 miles from town. His engine quit, his radio died, and the temperature kept dropping down. By pure luck, he found the store near midnight in the storm. The windows dark, the streets deserted, not another soul around. But there beside the entrance, hanging where it always had been, was that rusty iron key and a note tucked underneath. It said, if you're reading this tonight, come inside and get warm. There's soup in the freezer, blankets in the back room. Pay it forward when you can. That's the key above the door, for the lost and the worn, for the hearts carrying burdens they weren't meant to carry alone. When the road gets dark and lonely, when hope gets hard to find, there's still a place in this world where somebody leaves a light behind. The next spring folks gathered around and asked Miss Evelyn why. She said, my daddy taught me something before the day he died. He said, kindness ain't kindness if it waits for recognition. The best things people do are usually done unseen. Now the key above the door still hangs where it hung before, and travelers tell stories about what that little town stands for. Not the mountains or the cattle, not the rivers running wide, but the simple faith that somebody will help you through the night. Yeah, the key above the door still leaves a light behind. Every night around 11, I'd roll across I-40 West. Coffee in the cup holder, 40,000 pounds to haul ahead. Channel 19 was mostly chatter, truck stop jokes and weather reports, till one old voice from Amarillo started checking in, and every night at 4 he'd say, Breaker 19, how's everybody doing? Like he knew us all by name. called him Old Coyote. Nobody knew where he lived. He'd born about black ice in Kansas, where the highway started to drift. When somebody broke down after midnight, he was always first to call. Didn't matter who you were, he answered every call. He'd finish every conversation with "Keep the shiny side up, boys." That voice on Channel 19 got a whole lot of us back home. Through blizzards, floods, and desert nights, none of us drove alone. You never saw his face, never shook his hand, but somewhere in that radio static was the best man in the land. Then one October he went quiet, a week, then two, then three. The highway sounded different without his Tennessee drawl to lead. One night a rookie keyed the mic. Anybody heard Old Coyote? Nothing. Then a woman answered softly, "This is Linda. He passed away last Monday." She said he loved every one of y'all, even the ones he never met. He said the highway was too lonely to let anybody drive it by themselves. Nobody talked for nearly a mile. Now every night around 11, someone checks in on Channel 19. Breaker 19. How's everybody doing tonight? And before signing off, every driver says, "Keep the shiny side up." Not because it's just a saying, because it's how we remember him. Yeah. Some men never become famous, they just become family to thousands of strangers. There's a little red bicycle hanging in the barn, covered in dust beneath the rafters and stars. The paint's chipped off, the tires are flat, but I can't bring myself to throw it out. I found it this morning while cleaning the loft, sunlight pouring through the cracks. And just like that, I was 12 years old, with the whole world at my back. Daddy ran beside me down that gravel lane, one hand steady on the seat. Said, "Keep your eyes where you wanna go, ground beneath your feet. I still remember letting go of fear as the summer wind filled my face, hearing him laugh somewhere behind me when I finally found my pace. That bicycle in the barn takes me back to who we are before the years and all the miles, before the worries and the scars. Some things rust, some things rust, some things fade, some things fade. Some dreams don't turn out like you planned, but a father's voice can echo forever from a bicycle in a barn. My son came out while I stood there smiling, asked, "Dad, what's that doing here?" I pulled it down and brushed off the dust and told him stories he'd never hear. By sunset, we were fixing chains, pumping air into worn-out tires. And for a moment, the three generations were standing in that barn together. That bicycle in the barn takes me back to who we are before the years and all the miles, before the worries and the scars. Some things rust, some things rust, some things fade, some things fade. Some dreams don't turn out like you planned, but a father's voice can echo forever from a bicycle in a barn. That evening down the county road, my boy wobbled, laughed and swayed, and I heard myself say the very words my daddy said that day. Keep your eyes where you wanna go. Yeah, that bicycle in the barn became more than an old memory. It carried lessons through the years, like a family legacy. And when my son rode off alone, with the sunset painting gold across the land, I saw my father riding with him from a bicycle in the barn. Yeah, some gifts don't come wrapped in paper. They wait for years in a dusty barn. Every Wednesday after work, I'd stop by O'Malley's down the street. Not for the beer, not for the game, just 40 minutes off my feet. There was an old man by the jukebox, always sitting chair number 9. Same brown jacket, same black coffee, same quiet look in his eyes. We talked about the weather mostly, baseball, fishing, county fairs. Never once about the silver band he still wore after all these years. One December he missed a Wednesday, then another came and went. The waitress looked toward his empty chair and quietly said, his wife still comes every Friday. She can't bring herself to stop. That old jacket on chair number 9 still hangs there every Friday night. She drapes it over the back like always, then orders 2 slices of pie. Some people think she's holding on, some whisper she should let him go. But love don't answer to the calendar, it only answers to the soul. One snowy evening she waved me over, said, would you mind sitting here? She pushed his coffee across the table, then smiled through quiet tears. She told me how they met in '68 at a county dance in June. He promised every Friday night, I'll always save this seat for you. Now that jacket on chair number 9 means more than leather, thread and time. It's every promise someone kept long after goodbye. Love don't always need a heartbeat to keep showing up each week. Sometimes forever wears an old brown coat on an empty seat. Spring rolled in with blooming dogwoods, but one Friday she wasn't there. The waitress folded up that old brown jacket and laid a single white rose on the chair. Nobody spoke, nobody had to. Now chair number 9 sits empty, but somehow it isn't alone. 2 coffee cups still rest there sometimes, from folks who knew their story. Whenever somebody asked about them, we just smile and point that way. 'Cause in a little bar outside Savannah, love still keeps its Friday date. Yeah, some marriages end with a funeral, the best ones never really do.